I don't have any expectations for the Phoenix Suns this season, and that sounds mental when you realise that they have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. These guys are not only all-stars, but they're franchise players and just walking buckets in general, so why don't I have any expectations for them? Here's why. Super teams or top heavy teams simply do not work. They have their 3 all-stars, but besides that they have no depth. Let me elaborate on that. You might be thinking, what am I talking about? They have Nurkic, Eric Gordon, Watanabe and a few more recognisable names, but that's the problem. These players have made a name because they've played with big names. Nurkic with Dame, Gordon with Harden and Watanabe with KD. And that's not to say that these are bad players, but I believe that some of these players have just got an exposure from playing with big names, which elevates them in people's eyes. I will say that Nurkic and Gordon are not really a part of those players. They've got an exposure, yes, but Nurkic is a very solid player, and Gordon averaged close to 20 on the Rockets with Harden and CP3. On the Suns, these guys are starters, which furthers my point. If these guys were coming off the bench, it would be a different story. But because these guys are starters, they're actually not being fully utilised now. They're good enough to be starters, and they should be starters, but they are now the 4th and 5th options, because I doubt that KD, Booker and Beal are going to tell Eric Gordon to go get his. The sacrifice of depth for an all-star is never worth it, especially when it's a 3rd all-star. Booker is the lowest salary all-star out of these 3 at $36 million this season, and I know that they wouldn't trade him, but hypothetically, if you were to get $36 million worth of other players, you could get 2 $18 million contracts. That could be Lauri Markkanen and DeJounte Murray, for example. Or even 3 $12 million contracts, which could be Robert Williams, Austin Reeves and Steven Adams. That shows how much depth you can get for one all-star on this Suns team, and that's the cheapest one. Charles Barkley said it best. In the Western Conference, when every team is loaded with talent, your bench is going to be the deciding factor. And because of that reason, I can't rock with the Suns. My biggest concern is this. These 3 guys are all franchise players. They're all used to being at least a 2nd option on their team, but lately they've been the 1st. It's easy to be unselfish in a duo, but a trio, it's hard, because someone will be left out on a possession or 2. And look, they're grown men and professional athletes. I think they can make it work. But when you have 3 dominant players with the same play style, it makes it a lot harder. At least when KD played with the Warriors, Steph and Draymond were willing passers. Booker and CP3, again, complementary playstyles, and when Beal was with John Wall, Wall was averaging close to 10 assists per game. If you compare that to now, you don't have complementary playstyles. They're all just scorers, and that's fine if it works, but there's little versatility with this team. There's no definitive playmaker, there's no primary defender, there's just 3 bucket getters, which will make for entertaining basketball, but I don't think it will result in winning basketball. Those are my thoughts on the Suns, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? I want to hear it. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.